to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, we're going to try to keep this in a more organized fashion. We're going to go over some of the technical analysis with XRP. We'll get into Bitcoin as well. And then after we get a good understanding of where the XRP and Bitcoin price is, we'll take a look at the XRP and Bitcoin pairing. As that's up about 2% of the day, it's back testing the 820 breakout point. We'll go over that as well. We'll look at the XRP market cap to see where we're at in terms of where we sit at the market capitalization right now, as we're down about 3% or 850 million to 27.596 billion. And then we will also, at some point when we get past some of the analysis and we get into more of the reading side of this, there was a couple things that I wanted to go over. One, Ripple CTO David Schwartz actually talks about how much XRP he's holding. So we'll read through that just so we can get a better understanding. We'll talk about the looming 1 billion XRP escrow drop or dump. That's on May 1st. And we'll talk about, through this article, what the optics are as far as what to be expected here going forward in the next 24 hours. And are we going to have more price depreciation? Or was this the drop, that leads into this? So, I mean, the entire market had a nice correction. So we'll see what happens here. We were below 50 cents, but now we're teetering on getting back over. We dropped down to what could be perceived as a double bottom setup. And our drop earlier, that was around 48.4 cents. But with that being said, let's get into the intro, and then we'll get into this. So please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube can recommend this live. It would mean a great deal to me if you took just a moment to do that. It would allow my content to push through the algorithm. And I've got to replace some subscribers that have left in the recent days. When the price drops, we lose subscribers. But we continue to be transparent, and then we'll find our way to new subscribers as well with our commitment and our consistency here. So, good evening, 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I do appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm not going to look at the comments just yet. I'd rather get through some of the analysis, and then we can touch base. But I want to keep this in more of a unified way from now on, so that I can kind of go from one to the next in a way that I think we can at least get some information out. We can get on the same page, and then we can say hello to each other and do that so I don't get distracted. A little bit of changes that I'm going to do, just tiny changes that I think will be felt, and just more in depth here as well. So XRP, after we came through that falling channel, the rising channel, the longer term pattern formation, we formed this consolidation. It's a downward consolidation out of our multi-year uptrend. It was a rising channel, and now we've created this pattern formation. Anything that holds below this would more than likely cap off that drop that we've been seeing. It's right around 35 cents, 35.09. That's the technical move, losing that rising channel. That's all that is. But just to keep it simplistic here during this live, right now we've got this uptrending support and what is perceived, and it looks like, and it is, a falling channel setup here. And right now 49.2 cents is that area. We came down to 486 for a second time here today, so that could be a double bottom there possibly that has formed. We're starting to have a small rally, nothing major. We need to continue pushing up, but we do have a little bit of a reversal in different time frames. But what it looks like right now is, assuming we bounce off a support here, you go support, resistance, or resistance, support, until you break below or break above and confirm it. So right now we still have support to resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Now if this holds support, then you're looking for another break to resistance, which is just at about the 51 cent level. So that is definitely something to pay attention to. And it could create a reversal pattern here. These downward consolidations like this oftentimes do lead to a reversal. It's just we have come below a very big formation, and until we get back above it, it is more bearish than bullish. But It can come back up very quickly here for XRP. We're below that handle support on this cup and handle. So that is something that we're watching very closely. I'll just show you what the cup and handle looks like very quickly. But that's the cup. And then you got the handle here. And we're below it right now. There's no doubt about that. We're below that 508 mark. So it's very important for us to break back above. We do have a nice reversal in the 4-hour playing out right now. So this could play out as a nice reversal. With it being in a falling channel, you look for some upside potential. So that's something I'm definitely going to be looking at here as we play into the daily close here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But also on the days coming up here, the days going forward, I think there's a lot more to be said here. I'm also going to focus more on just talking about the technical analysis and not my day-to-day trades. I'll talk about my longer hold trades and I'll hint at some, but some people have found their way uncomfortable because of how I swing in and out of things if they're not a longer hold. So I think just for my own sanity, I'm going to keep a lot of that to myself like I used to. In the last couple of weeks, I was opening up more about it, but apparently it rubbed some the wrong way. So I'm just going to keep to my own plan, and I'll build with them, you know, as we gain more of a trust, because I've obviously lost a little bit of trust with the audience. Seeing the fact that I lost 13 subscribers, roughly, in the last couple of days. So there's something definitely going on there. Now, obviously, XRP prices come down, so a lot of people do leave the community. A lot of people leave, you know, watching XRP as a whole, so then they don't want to see anything related to it. So it's a back and forth game here. But I also take pride in gaining new subscribers and not losing them. So with that being said, I always shift how I do things just slightly when I feel like we're getting into a stalemate. So now you'll notice a little bit of a demeanor, a little bit of a, you know, a production of what I do. And it's just going to be slightly different. That's all. More in a unified way, though, so that I don't have to, you know, trick anybody, because that's not what I'm here to do. So I don't want anybody to feel tricked. But I am very transparent in what I do. So I do update the charts on a daily basis, but I also show the long-term prospects as well. It's just I like to start off with the daily or the short-term movement, and then we work our way out. So make sure you pay attention to the beginning to the end, because it might start off in the short term, but we never end there. Also, we'll get into some news and things that are going on with the Ripple dump of 1 billion from the escrow on May 1st. That's coming up here in just a few hours here on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And then we're also going to take a look at Bitcoin. I'm very interested to see if the XRP Bitcoin pairing stays above 820, because that is a back test going on right now. So we'll take a closer look at that as well. So let me, I want to do one bit of reading, and then I'll say hello to some that have made it in the audience. I'm not expecting like a huge crowd based on the shift in momentum, and not just crypto, but also in the community here. So it's an always upward battle. It's never a downward battle. It's always upward. So let's talk about the 1 billion XRP that's going to be dumped on May 1st. So Ripple to unlock 1 billion XRP on the 1st of May. Is XRP priced to drop? So every month, Ripple, the blockchain payment giant, kicks off a significant event, releasing XRP tokens from its escrow. As May 1st approaches, excitement builds as 1 billion XRP tokens, valued at over 500 million, are about to enter the market. While this monthly routine is expected, it still raises concerns among investors and analysts about how it might affect the XRP market. Since 2017, Ripple has been following a set pattern, unlocking 1 billion XRP tokens at the start of each month. The upcoming May 1st unlock sticks to this plan, drawing from escrow accounts known as Ripple 22 and Ripple 23, according to data from April's event. This upcoming release holds significant weight within the cryptocurrency realm, making up about 1.83% of the circulating XRP supply and 2.48% of all XRP tokens held in Ripple-controlled escrows. These figures highlight the release's importance in shaping supply dynamics. Following the XRP unlock in April, Ripple executed strategic transactions to manage the released tokens. Notably, Ripple 22 transferred 200 million XRP to the treasury account Ripple 1 for sale. On April 14th, Ripple conducted a 48.5 million XRP sale in response to geopolitical tensions, followed by the liquidation of the remaining 100 million XRP reserved for sale on April 24th. Market watchers closely monitor Ripple's XRP unlocks due to their potential impact on price and supply dynamics. Recent analysis show a mixed picture. While some days saw minor gains, negative trends were predominant. For instance, a 20% decline in XRP price, followed by a 16.6% increase in February, driven by limited positive trading days. March exhibited positive momentum initially, but faced a significant decline post-sell-off on March 13th, resulting in a 17% drop until March 20th. As Ripple continues its monthly XRP unlocks, the market braces for potential fluctuations, with May's release exceeding 500 million. Its effects on the cryptocurrency community are eagerly anticipated. So that's something that is very interesting. And then it gets right into the next story. So there's a reason why I have this article up first. So Ripple versus SEC, legal analysts debate, Fox witness motion verdict. And this is very important. This is the newest breaking news. So before we get into that, let me just say hi to everybody who decided to show up today. Like I said, I greatly appreciate everybody who stays committed, as you know, we're fighting through some negativity here. And or not negativity, but a little bit of turmoil, I should say. So, but you know, with everything like that, you know, with everybody who leaves, it brings more humbleness, and then we bring in a new crowd. But, you know, it just makes you realize just how beautiful of a thing we have going here, just how quickly things come and go. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Mark Caston, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. David Roach, welcome in, and thanks for being in from New Zealand, Roach. Hello, David. Puentes, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Coffee and Crypto says, thanks for the update earlier. Been watching for your show all day to get my update on the market. I appreciate that, Coffee and Crypto, and I really appreciate seeing the ones that do appreciate what I do. Puts it all in perspective. It really does. John Hall, good evening. Hope you're having a blessed day. Messi, welcome in, and thanks as always for staying committed. The Gatman, Corium Solo XRPH, what's up, T? Yes, the Gatman, all great projects, all great ones. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Jorge, welcome in, and good evening. We'll get back into that, but as I'm reading this, I just want everybody to see the price action in front of us. Messi, Bitcoin must close above 61K to be bullish. Well, I mean, we'll look at that. I don't know if 61K even would signify any kind of bullishness. It'd be better than closing below 60K, but we still haven't taken the technical drop to the entirety. Nobody says we have to. We'll go over Bitcoin farther as we go along in this update. I'm trying to keep it segmented from now on so that I can keep it unified in the way that I need to do it. And then I'll go into other cryptocurrencies as I see fit, you know, based on the response and based on the positivity in the audience, or even the generosity and hitting the like button and such. So we'll see how it goes. EOC, good evening. Looking to add to my bag around 40 cents. Very possible. Very possible as a technical target for XRP right now. Assuming that we could not get back above the rising channel, which is about 52 cents and some change, the technical target right now is down at about 34.5, 35 cents. So whether or not we can get all the way down there is a question to be asked. And the overall pattern that we're in, the uptrending support that goes all the way back over 4 years, and this pattern started over 78 months ago, going on month 79, that uptrending support is right at about 39 cents. So that's some of the things we have to watch for. Mario Louise Willamese, welcome in. Randad, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. EOC says 40 cents, and then let's see, Messi says, why wait? It's cheap. You may not see 40 cents. He's probably waiting to see if the technical move plays out, which is understandable. Joshua, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. If we get rejected on this rising channel, we'll have no choice but to have a further drop. But furthermore, before we can even get to 52.20, if we can't get back inside of the handle support, which is right at about 508, 50.8 cents, yes, we can have a much bigger drop. But that doesn't mean we're going to. I'm not making a prediction, as I've, you know, every time I make a prediction, I find myself dipping my hand in the cookie jar and then people disapprove. So I'm just going to show the analysis, and I'll leave it up to everybody to make their own prediction, because that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But I did have, You could. Unless you just don't want to make them sad. So, you only leave for a minute. I walk back and forth. But this is the death cross as well that some have talked about. So we can get into that reading as well, because that was something that I actually forgot to put up here. Because we got a lot of reading to do. So if you guys stick around, I'm going to do a lot of reading here, because that's what I like to do. I like to bring in the information, and then everybody can make an informed decision. That's nothing, bro. They'll be back. Hey, I know, Brave. Hey, they cut. See, I get cut. It cuts me through the heart, you know, because then, but if somebody's leaving, there's a reason. It might not be because of me. Some of them are because of me, so it helps you self-evaluate. There's nothing wrong with self-reflecting. Plus, I always look at it as a positive, because then I get as some would say, I get everything back together. But you're right. 13 is not that much. You're right about that. Randall says I wouldn't sweat it with subscribers. I'd sweat it more if you lost time. So, yeah, that's true. Very true about that. I just like to see overall growth, Randall, but you are right about that. Nick, XRP is down, can't listen to this dude. That's exactly how it goes. And then some people, you know, because I show the day-to-day movements, now that I said it fell out of the cup and handle, some people are saying that I flip-flop, because now I'm saying it's more on the bearish side than bullish just a couple days ago, but that's true. It would make you flip-flop in your own head, because you're below the handle support. So you've been taught when you're below a cup and handle formation, it's bearish over bullish if you're below the handle support. There's nothing wrong with that. We're below in a couple key metrics. So I can understand some being uncomfortable, but I got to still be true to what is on the charts. Trading with J-Rod, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon Badge. I like Nick's comment, though. I said XP's down, can't listen to this dude. That hits you hit it on the mark more than you even know. Mike says, thank you, Tom. You are holding us afloat in these unprecedented times. XP the further mucking mooners here. That's true, Mike. We are either going to the moon. It doesn't seem like there's much in between. We're either going to have a monumental breakout here in the year or so to come, a couple years at most, or we're just going to have a catastrophic fall into the pits, huh, my friend? Mo, good evening. Says, see it as a positive buying opportunity. Yes, indeed, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. 777 DW Brown, the CEO of his BC Bank, is stepping down. Mr. Fool talked about this yesterday, and it happened today. Excellent. Excellent. It's good to know. Jason Setta, welcome in. Never late, never late, never late. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Real projects and investors don't move base from riddles. That's child's play big money, don't move in riddles and rhymes. Mike, unfortunately, you are right about that. Well, Mr. Poole brings a lot of joy to some. I've got to see both sides of the equation, but I'm not going to rip anybody for doing what they do. I just put more stock in the technicals and just some of the things that I can, you know. But I respect him for doing what he does and reaching such a large audience. So, XRP, USDT, as we've talked about in the opening, it still leaves a lot to be desired. Because that's still, despite the fact that it came all the way up here to 502, if we do start coming back down here and close at like the 498, 497 in this 4 hourly, that doesn't exactly instill a lot of push. We want to start to engulf these candles in every 4 hourly that comes up here. We want to start to build some momentum back to the top side. The one good thing about what happened is we forced ourselves more into an overbought or oversold, and we possibly could have created a little bit of a reversal, a double bottom. But it's still much too early to be seen. Much too early to even be, you know, speculating that this is done dropping. Right now, the first key we obviously know is we can't fall below 492. You don't want to keep losing this area now. This has been holding on this falling channel, so now we've got to break back above before we break below. The cool thing is, typically on a falling channel, they break bullish instead of bearish. That's not always the case, but oftentimes when you have this downward consolidation, you usually come back up and retest break points. Even if it's a pivot and it fails, you know, maybe you could do something like that. Maybe it's building up and it could build, you know, who knows. But if it breaks up instead of down, you can invalidate some of that short-term movement. It's just if you lose this structure, we already know from losing the rising channel, it's a multi-year formation. That technical target just measured out brings us to 35 cents. So like I've said, you don't want to make that move. That brings you below a 78-month consolidation, and that's a support at 38 cents roughly, or 39 cents in present time. So you don't want to lose that support. So we'll watch this as the days unfold. I'm not going to focus too much on watching the, you know, going back and forth with certain charts. I'm just going to leave it like that, leave it nice and easy to understand so I don't confuse anybody. I often have to remember that not everybody has the same technical skills as I do, so sometimes I talk in too many different directions and then it confuses some. That's something that I personally have tried very hard to work on, but I do lose my way from time to time. So this was actually a good moment for me to look back and be like, you know, some of the things I can correct is not talk about 10 different things at once and try to go in an ebb and flow. Like right now we're talking XRP. We went through the XRP escrow dump that's looming. Now after we go over the market cap, we'll go into some of the other news with XRP that we have to read about. We still have a lot to go here. We've just gotten started here. We're not done yet. We've still got to go through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. First, we'll hit Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance chart. We've still got to hit the XRP market cap before we get into further reading. But it is good to see that the Bitcoin pairing is up to 826. I did a update earlier this afternoon before it pushed out here. And I talked about how at 808 it pushed up into this next candle. And that's where I got back on board. But not because I wanted to let it go before. It was just it came to an area I thought it could break through. It did not. And then right at 808, essentially where I let it go, I just bought it back and went back to the same routine as I was on, because I know in time this is going to... Well, wait a minute. I'm not going to talk about that stuff, though, because, see, that's when I make people uncomfortable, because with that kind of analysis. So I'm not going to talk about that as much. You're just going to have to read between the lines. Let's just say that. XRP market cap down 2.93% to 27.607 billion. So what we're really seeing here with the market cap, we haven't broken down yet. We came outside of it very briefly, and you'll start to see this across the board. We got these little formations, and this is more of a descending structure. I do like the way it's set up, just so that we can get an honest observation here of whether or not this pattern's ready to further correct down and maybe come back to the structure support at 22.51 billion, as we haven't had to look at this for a while. But if you break this out, you know, we've got a nice pivot point support there from a breach structure before when it was to the downside, and then when it goes above it, we usually have pretty nice pushes up. So that's a very big level for me, because this is where we started the correction back here, and I've never forgotten this from 2018, because every time we can hold this area as a support, we've been able to bounce up. Every time we hold it as a resistance, it's not pretty. It's not fucking, it's not pretty. That's all I'm going to say. So that is, to me, one of the most key levels if we do continue to break down. But as it is, we're stuck within a formation here, which is a descending consolidation, which typically if you have descending consolidations, they're more bullish than bearish, but we came down on a bearish bias. So, and we've already had a consolidation now. We've said this could be somewhat of an inverse pattern, but we're going to have to see if this can consolidate out. And instead of breaking down, push up instead. Like we talked about with the XRP price, like you have the invert. It would have to pull out like this and retest that broken point again. Otherwise, this could be a very quick drop, and you could either end up in this consolidation zone or you just end up falling straight through. So it's going to be interesting over the next few days to watch the XRP market cap play out. And I wanted to go farther back in the pattern, but that's what we fell outside of. It's very apparent that's what we've fallen out of. Now, the one cool thing about the XRP market cap, when you look at it, is that we've already had a healthy correction on the drop. Same with the XRP price. And this actually, if you look at it, wouldn't you agree that we filled out the technical drop? So yes, we broke the multi-year rising channel here with the market cap. Well, maybe not multi-year. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is multi-year because we're all the way into 24 now. This started in November of 22, so a multi-year, well, a year and a half, we'll say. After a year and a half, we breached it, but we filled out the technical drop. So that is good news. That's one piece of good news that we're able to hold. So what I'm going to do here, that's right below it, as we can see. So we can see where we held, and we can see where it's right below. So just pay very close attention to this. And that we filled out that technical drop. That's all but filled out. So could we come down and form a W reversal? Maybe. But we're trying to look at a nice push up here on that downward consolidation. So I think that's, oh wow, I forgot to turn on this. Whoops. I apologize for that. Yes, please hit that like button. 74 likes, 117 people watching. I greatly appreciate everybody who's in here. Tanya, welcome in, love. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the 589 Moon badge. Or I mean the XRP, or the I Told You So badge. Mr. Carter, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. I greatly appreciate that. Love the 60-second updates, Tom. Life gets busy and it's perfect for a quick bathroom break at work. I appreciate that. And that's what I try to do every single day. I try to do that 60-second update just so that we can, you know, kind of get a quick look every single day. I try to do the daily formation and then, you know, look at it. So I appreciate that. You appreciate that. I do. We have a great audience here. I always say it. We have a great audience. It's just sometimes, you know, we contract and we expand. Roach said, stay true to yourself, Tom. Talk about whatever you feel like talking about. Love all your content you cover. Fuck the haters. Hey, I appreciate that, but this isn't necessarily about the haters. This is just me, you know, just I guess you could say it is. I guess you could say it's that standpoint too, but it's just a observation that I've made, you know. Maybe it's, but yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, it's my content and I got to approach it the way I feel right. So that's what I'm looking at with the market cap. XLM, somebody talked about. XLM I'll get into first after this reading, but I want to keep it together right now. We're on XRP, so I'm going to cover everything XRP, and then we're going to get into some of the finer readings, right? So I want to read through this because this is some of the new stuff that we're popping. This is some of the new stuff. I love knowing when Tom buys and sells. Tom, TA guy on the... Hey, I appreciate that. You know that. I appreciate that you appreciate that, the Gatman. Thank you very much. Tanya's up to 20 months in Tom's Army now. Wow. Holy smokes. Yeah, I definitely appreciate those 60-second vids when I have bustling work. Or the business. Yes, indeed. Well, that's why I started doing them. I started doing them for that very reason. I figured there might be there's like 30% of the audience that just watches the shorts. 40-something that watches the lives and it's just weird how it works. But I'm going to peek in on my son just to make sure he's doing good. Because Julie had to leave for a second. But she's just dropping the kids off at their dad's right down the road. Because it's his day, unfortunately. And then, but our son's here still. All right, everybody, thank you very much for that, your patience. I appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure my son was doing okay. He's in his room. I figured he would be. But I can't just shut the door on him because he learned how to open the doors in all the houses. And he knows how to do everything. Smart little kid. So Ripple versus SEC legal analyst debate. Fox witness motion verdict. And I think this is one of the... This is one of the most important things of the day. Because we need to understand what this means. So the Fox witness motion verdict. So we're going to need to give a little story highlight here because there's some new information that's coming out. So Ripple wants to exclude some SEC evidence from the lawsuit, and the judge will decide by May 2nd. Legal experts have mixed opinions on the case. Some think the SEC's case is weak, while others believe Ripple's attempt to exclude evidence is pointless. What is that? A donation today, holy moly. Tom M., thank you so much for the $25 donation. Thanks for being here every day, keeping it real, just waiting around to see your haircut. Well, it could be a little while. It could be a little while, that's for sure. But thank you for that donation. I'll be honest, 100% thought zero donations today. So that definitely, I feel better not talking about them too. Like, I don't like talking about donations. You know, like telling people to donate. So today I felt good not even bringing it up. I just walked inside into the room. He shut the door again. So he's doing good. But Tom, thank you for that $25 donation. That means a lot. And I like your name too. That's a pretty respectable name you got there too, Tom. Julie almost fell through the chair because it's on the grass. And I feel like the leg... Did it go into the crack? Julie just almost fell, but she caught herself, thankfully. So... the ongoing lawsuit is hurting the price of XRP. The ongoing clash between Ripple and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has entered a crucial phase as it finally reaches trial after over 3 years of legal wranglings. Ripple Labs and the SEC are currently embroiled in a dispute over Ripple's motion to strike down the Andrea Fox Declaration and its supporting evidence. At the core of the disagreement is the Andrea Fox Declaration. So this is something we need to understand because they keep calling it the Fox. So, the Fox Declaration. So, which has become a focal point of contention. The SEC argues that the Fox's declaration is merely a summary report rather than an expert analysis of the XRP institutional sales dispute. They claim it falls within the bounds of acceptable summary evidence similar to past rulings by Judge Suarez on the Ferrante Declaration, without violating federal civil procedure rules. Ripple is expected to respond to the SEC's argument. Herbert Jean, thank you for the $20 donation. I greatly appreciate that. And also, you've been in Tom's Army for well over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Wow, wow. Thank you so much for that. Seriously. I say humbleness comes in all ways. That's unbelievable. He says, keep up the great work, Tom. Thank you, Herbert. And the Gatman with his 5th YouTube Super Chat with the $5 donation. Thank you, Gatman. And also, thank you for being in Tom's Army for well over a year. Like, seriously. Whoever is panicking over a few cents shouldn't be in the... No, they shouldn't. But there's a lot of panic, my friend. It's the obvious. It's the obvious. People panic over every little ebb and flow, every little movement. But I like I've been saying, I'm looking for opportunity. I'm not looking for panic. I see opportunity everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Like, I even gave the insight, and I don't mind saying this. I love being in B2 Gold, and I talked about, I made an educated, informed decision yesterday at 264 when it looked like gold and silver had topped out for a bit. And so did B2 Gold. There was nothing wrong with that. It got rejected on the daily, in my opinion. So I sold it at 264, and look at today. It's at 254 right now, 253. Well, I'm not talking about I have $500 or $1,000. I had about $6,500 in B2 Gold. The next time around, I'm gonna have $8,000 in it now, with its dividend. So I'm very strategic. Some might get uncomfortable with it, but I still have to speak my piece when I tell you about my positions, because I want people to follow what I do. So then next time, maybe you can grab that little move. You know, you can grab a little bit of extra cash, because this is how I have to do things. And some say, well, you watch the charts every day so closely. How do you not get out and in even more? Because I like to let the pattern play out, unless it gives me a reason to think it's topped out and I can, you know, expand what I already hold in an easier way. And the stock market's different because I'm not tied to the capital gains BS as much as crypto. But Ripple is expected to respond to the SEC's argument. Yep, next Tuesday. So you better believe I'm going to be back in before next Tuesday. It's just I had a feeling with all this lining up that if we're going to have some kind of consolidation, it would have happened when that gold started reversing. And I didn't have any way of knowing it was going to happen today, but today it was down $42 an ounce. So gave it all the reason to drop. So I could see it forming yesterday. So I was like, oh, and I always have those moments. But anyhow, let's get through this. But B2 Gold's a great company, 6.3% dividend and growing right now. Legal experts have offered differing opinions on the matter. Bill Morgan, a pro-XRP lawyer, questions the SEC's argument regarding the alleged harm suffered by institutional buyers, suggesting it may not hold water for disgorgement claims. So here's Bill Morgan's official X account. So, let's see. The SEC argues the Fox declaration is a summary, not expert evidence, and Ripple does not dispute the summary of its financial records is correct. The SEC argues that Fox did not give an opinion that some institutional buyers suffer pecuniary harm because she stated what counsel let's see. Counsel told her to state in whether some institutional buyers suffered pecuniary harm because others received higher discounts is a legal question. Regardless of the outcome of this motion, it is difficult to see the SEC's argument on the question of pecuniary harm as strong. I mean, imagine complaining you made profits from a contract with Ripple but didn't make as much profit as someone else. Sure, that is what this case is about. Protecting investors from a missed opportunity to make even higher profits while you fail to protect them from SBF and FTX. So James K. Phelan dropped this for us, and this was on April 29th. We already talked about that, so I'm not going to go back into this. But this was shared on April 29th. We read through some of this. So just we can go over this at a later date again. But this is just piggybacking off of what James K. Phelan has put in here as well. And then he's just said SEC government has filed its opposition, and we went over that on the 29th. Or wait a minute, no, we didn't. Oh, we talked a little bit about it, but I don't think we looked at these documents. So here's all I want to read, is what they wrote. Dear Judge Netburn, Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC opposes defendant Ripple Labs, Inc., Ripple motion to strike the declaration of SEC summary. Witness Andrea Fox, Fox declaration and its supporting exhibits. Ripple incorrectly claims this declaration constitutes undisclosed expert testimony. It does not. It is standard summary evidence permissible under Fed Avid 1006 in support of calculations for disgorgement. It is not an expert's report, does not rely on specialized experience, and does not render any opinions at all, let alone an expert one. Nor does it present the testimony of a percipient witness. Rather, it applies basic arithmetic. Sorry, it is very sunny in my eyes. I'm sure you can see. Rather, it applies basic arithmetic to Ripple's financial records to streamline the presentation of the evidence to Judge Serez. Moreover, the declaration is consistent with another SEC account and summary witness declaration Judge Serez allowed and cited on summary judgment over Ripple's identical objection that it constituted an expert report. The court should deny Ripple's motion. The SEC submitted the Fox declaration to aid the court by presenting essentially three calculations that: one, summarize parts of Ripple's financial records; two, summarize parts of Ripple's sales records; and three, show the amount of prejudgment interest has accrued on Ripple's ill-gotten gains. Set to explain, actually I don't want to, well, because it says see declaration Andrea Fox, yada yada yada. So explain the SEC's mathematical calculations with one minor exception. The Fox declaration summarizes only documents produced or served by Ripple, including Ripple's audited financial statements, interrogatory answers, and certain sales records. Before the onset of remedies phase discovery, the parties contemplated the SEC would use a summary witness to support its remedies brief. In the joint proposal of the court on remedies discovery, the SEC advised that it could use the declaration of a summary witness to support its remedies briefing, ECF number 923 at 1. In response, Ripple reserved its right to seek discovery. So that is some very interesting information. Maybe I'll read through that at another time and continue that reading. But that is what's going on there with that's something that I wanted to read with that. So then let's continue reading this. And then we got to get back into the charts as we are 40 minutes in. I greatly appreciate everybody who's here this evening, like I've been saying. It means a lot to me to see everybody here. 107 people here, even in high times of unvolatility and uncertainty. Let's just be honest. These are not the most stress-free times. Just looking at it from the onset, especially if you don't understand technical analysis, it might, if you wake up one day and you're looking at your account and maybe you didn't look at it in 2 weeks and you're down 20%, maybe you just don't know how to react. So I know there's a lot of different stories out there. So HSBC Noel Quinn steps down unexpectedly. Yes, time does fly when you're having fun, JW. Sometimes I look and I can't believe it's already 40 minutes. Like, wow. So Mark Fagel, a former SEC securities lawyer, sides with the SEC, dismissing Ripple's move as futile, while Fagel predicts the court's punishment may be less severe than Ripple's hefty $2 billion demand. He refrains from specifying an appropriate fine, anticipating a lengthy legal battle. Fagel believes both parties will file appeals in the coming months, possibly escalating the case to the Second Circuit next year. James Farrell, a former SEC lawyer, points out that non-attorneys often create summary charts to avoid privilege issues, suggesting Ripple could have pursued alternative methods to obtain similar information. Farrell criticizes Ripple's failure to disclose its previous unsuccessful motion before Judge Netburn, viewing it as a credibility setback. So what does this have for the market implications for XRP? What does that mean for us? So amidst the legal drama, XRP's performance is under scrutiny. Despite recent price fluctuations, XRP saw a modest increase today, trading at 51.3 cents. As we know, it fell below after this was reported to 48.3 cents or 48.6 cents. At the same time, a significant transfer of 75 million XRP tokens sparked speculations among investors. Well Alert flagged 3 substantial transactions, including sizable transfers, centralized exchanges, and a noteworthy sum received from Upbit. These transactions reflecting increased buying and selling activity have left investors uncertain about XRP's future trajectory. And as we know, some of those got put onto the exchange, and we did suffer a drop. We still have some more reading to do, but there's a lot of reading, so I don't know how much we're going to get to in this live. We still got to pay attention to the XRP charts. We've already went over all of that. Before I move into Bitcoin, I want to touch XLM real quick for some that asked in the audience. It's down 4.13% on the day. We are below a very key uptrend, or a pattern formation. That uptrend was vital not to lose. It was to me, at least. Otherwise, I felt like we could have a very real chance of coming down here to 875. So, but right now in the 4-hourly, we are extremely in that oversold area. So it's very possible that we do have some kind of reversal that takes place here. But as of right now, we're in a painful spot for XLM. Trying to have a reversal. 2-hourly, we have an engulfing candle. So this could be the start, because you can see with the relative strength index below, which I do put that on there so we can see the, whether it's overbought, oversold, or at least an idea, even though it is a lagging indicator. But we could see the Batman top pulling this down for a quick recovery. So those are some things that we look at here. And now we've broken through. So we very well could be on the start. Maybe a push back up here. And maybe we do start that nice V-shape. You know what? Now that I see that, that is a nice little opportunity building up there. So a nice V-shape recovery possibly. I know. Can anybody else believe that tomorrow's May 1st? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, I was trying to warn once we fell out that these drops could happen. And yeah, I try to stay bullish when I have to and bearish when it seems apparent. But it's not because I'm making a prediction. It's because we're more bullish or more bull, yada, yada, yada. Whoever said XRP is down, the whole market is down. Yeah, unfortunately, Jessica, that's unfortunately what's been happening. And thank you, love, for continuing to tune in and being in Tom's Army for well over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Hey, Tommy. XRP Future Millionaire. My son's standing outside. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, come here, bud. All right, I know you want to stand by the door. You can keep it open a little bit, Julie, so he feels more safe. Yeah, you want it open, bud? Yeah, we'll keep it open. Yeah, there you go. See, he's good. Oh, is he okay? Okay. So what do we think? Is there a chance that we have a V-shaped recovery starting here for XLM? I'm curious what everybody thinks. We're oversold, and now we started pushing back down. So that oversold started playing out. Is it possible we could start a V-shaped recovery and start pushing back up? That is a good question. I would love to hear anybody's expectation or feelings on this. I'm going to like some relaxation, but I would love to hear everybody's feelings on this. We've got 116 strong here. I feel beautiful. It feels beautiful to have all of you here. Really does. I can't even thank my gratitude to all of you enough. Otherwise, I'd be doing this with myself, and it's not as fun, let me tell you. I did this for years without being able to talk to anybody. Not by doing a show, but by trading by myself, and it's not as fun. You miss a lot. 4 hourly, looks like a reversal candle. You know, we very could be starting a short-term V-shaped recovery, maybe. And I'm not saying it's going to break way up, but I'm saying it could possibly fill in that little downward drop here. I mean, it's tough to say right now. We're just speculating here. When you look at it in the 2-hour time frame, we can see an engulfing candle that leads to the speculation. And if it filled out like something like that, it would have to do how I drew it out. So we'll see. If somebody, like I always say, if you're looking at it and you're like, you know what? Maybe I take a shot at this V-shaped recovery. Well, you know, you can take a shot, but just know, if you're looking for a V-shaped recovery, you cannot hold it. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You cannot hold this if you're just looking for a swing trade move. You can't hold it past 10.44. So right now you got about a 2.5% cushion, roughly. But you can't hold it below, you wouldn't be able to hold it below that. So, because if it breaks down, then you're going to continue this consolidation. But that is definitely a shot if you're looking to be like, oh, I think a V-shaped recovery starting. It's possible. You do have an engulfing candle. You've got a nice breakdown here. Trading is definitely a lonely sport. You've got that right. It's much funner with all of you, though, I must say. It is. I just being honest. It's a lot funner this way. It's a lot funner this way. Bob almost did make an appearance. Somebody said Bob almost made an appearance. Well, Tom doesn't let me come out very much these days, so, you know, he's trying to be more professional. Well, that's not why, Bob. You just tend to go off topic. Well, Tom, it's good just to hear. What, Julie? Huh? I don't. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at with XLM possibly. XLM possibly. XDC yesterday had a brief breakout attempt but fell back through. And now it's trying to push back over again. So after a correction back down, now we've got a V-shaped recovery with XDC. And now we'd be looking for a hold over this 352 area, and you could be pushing back up. You could be pushing back up. Same with me, Cleo, so it's all good. It's all good. So, I mean, XDC could be pushing out as well. So, we'll see what happens with XDC. That's at 348. Oh yeah, now let's go into XRP Bitcoin pairing while I still have everybody's attention as we're approaching the 50-minute mark already on this live. Holy smokes. Actually, we can't go to the XRP Bitcoin pairing until we look at Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin's down 5.3%, or down 3,381 points or dollars to 60,452.75. And Bitcoin, some I know are saying it looks very weak, which it is, but it did come down. The good news is remember when we speculated that maybe Bitcoin was in this downward channel? Or not a channel, but even a pennant flag here. And instead of having that uptrending support, just that formation, the ascending formation, we brought it out like this. Now it at least came down here and validated what we were thinking. It at least validated what we were thinking. So that was our first chance at a hold. And right now we are absolutely on that spot, and it's not even in the right spot. My stuff often moves because I'll move it around on accident when I'm pressing the buttons. But that hit it perfectly. Support, let me put this in. So Bitcoin could, like I always say, sneaky reversals when we start to become oversold in some of the smaller time frames. 2, 3, that's 4 hits of support. You break through this support, you also break through the broadening wedge support resistance line, and then you'd probably fill out the technical to 51,257. But right now, where everything's set up, we very well could be starting a sneaky reversal. Look at that inverted hammer here on Bitcoin. It almost looks like we're going to be bullish, and maybe tomorrow's a bullish day. After such volatility, you do get a lot of bullish days that follow, even if you go up 2 to 5% and you're just recovering the past loss. So we definitely look like we're creating some kind of reversal here. So that's the best with Bitcoin. We don't even need to stay on it long. And we'll go back to it. XRP Bitcoin pairing up 2.35% on the day, up to 826. We're looking very nice at this point for the closure. Now, I want everybody to be familiar with the smaller pattern setup and then the overall setup. So we did break out of the short term, and our technical target was at the 841 mark. We talked about it on this morning's. I came on actually at 12:05, and it was about 12:30 this afternoon, and did an update dedicated to the XRP Bitcoin pairing. It didn't do as, it got about almost 900 views, so it did pretty well actually now that I think about it. But I talked about this as the breakout was starting to try to happen. We needed to get over, we talked about the 822 level to be sure. Right now the back test is 819. So if we hold 819, we should be pushing up, and then we'll have a chance at a breakout. The only other thing we have to worry about is if this creates that Batman top, and we just have to pay attention to that. We always pay attention to that. We definitely had a nice breach here. It looks like a nice reversal as of right now. Got to push through the 200 and the 4 hourly. And then what gets me excited about this is the weekly time frame is extremely oversold. Extremely oversold in the weekly. And we've had consecutive red candles in the monthly. And this is a very big telling sign of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight months with red. Something tells me that May could be green for the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Generally, when you get to that 7th or 8th candle, you start to talk reversal. It's unusual to go much longer than that without at least one green candle of correction. So I think it's pointing to the fact that we very well could be starting a nice green month here for the XRP Bitcoin pairing, because we're going to start with a little momentum if it ends like this today. If it ends like this today, we'll start with a little momentum. As you can see, the XRP Bitcoin pairing, the monthly candle closes for everything, guys. It's not at 12 p.m. here. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the monthly candle closes. And we're going to get, it's not going to be pretty on the onset, but we could start some momentum quickly after it opens. So we'll see how this plays out. Nobody knows anything for certain. We're still very, very in a interesting spot, and that goes for more than just the pairing. Goes for XRP as well. We're trying some quick reversals here. We look to have bottomed in the 30-minute, and we're trying to put in a more bullish candle here. If this ends like this, it's actually not too bad. And we'll start to try to push our way up. If we're just looking at our next true resistance, it's at right around the 50-cent mark, right around the 50-cent area. So that's what we're looking at here. That's what we're looking at here. If you're like, how the hell do I trade XRP in the USA or even worldwide, and I don't want to use a VPN, just look in the video description below and our pinned comments. There's BITUNIX. We've talked much about if you're on Uphold, because I used to be. I went on there, looked to buy $4,000 worth of XRP just to see. And for $4,000, they wanted to give me 6,800 XRP. Well, at the exact same time, BITUNIX and MEXC we're both over 7,300 XRP, which that's a 500 XRP differential, and at the time it was over $280 on 4,000. So you don't want to be caught on that side of town, period. So look at BITUNIX in the pinned comments below or video description. You don't need a VPN. KYC only if you send funds from a bank or to a bank. From another exchange, not necessary. And the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I've seen. If you're looking to trade the XRP Bitcoin pairing, there's MEXC in the description below, or XRP Healthcare. That's in the description below as well. Just new users in the USA are going to have an issue. Your grandfather, if you've already been on there, but new users are going to have an issue. Not with BITUNIX though. Somebody asked about Bitcoin. If it confirmed a bull flag. If it holds this, yes. If it holds this, it would confirm the pennant flag. That's the truth here. If it holds this support and it bounces out, you confirm the pennant flag, which is actually a confirmation of a bull flag. And it would put in a big W reversal or a triple bottom. I'd like to say W, but yeah, this would absolutely confirm it if it were to hold. Nobody says it's going to, but this is how you confirm that massive bull flag through this pennant flag. That's why I put it into that form. Once I realized what it looked like it was doing, and what Stanley's talking about, and what I'm specifying, I mean, you're looking at a pennant flag here, especially with the drop. These are bullish continuations, assuming you don't break out, and then it would be a massive breakout if it did continue. If it breaks down and invalidates this, well, you're going to have some movement down. There's no way about it. If you break this down and invalidate it, you've got at least about a 9,000 point drop from here. Don't shoot the messenger. You know, we can still feel bullishly optimistic, but we also have to have the truth in front of us in case things reverse terribly wrong. So I guess I better hit this. I've been talking about this for... I said I was going to light this 25 minutes ago. Take a quick look at XRP Healthcare. And then also look at what David Schwartz says about his holdings. And then we'll probably call it a day here. We'll see how it goes. I've talked about how I think a better opportunity is coming for XRP Healthcare. That's why I haven't added more lately. But that looked like a big M-topping reversal. So at some point, we needed to have a big correction. Way oversold in the weekly. Now we're starting to correct. I'm looking for a nice hit down here. Maybe at 3 cents would be nice. I think that might be a good spot. Unless this holds as a bull flag in the weekly, it won't come down that far. If this actually has higher ambitions of a bull flag, it's going to hold right here. It would hold right here. If this is actually a bull flag continuation, it would hold right at that uptrend right there. So it's either coming down to 3 cents, or you can hold at this 4.4 level. Not much more in between. Not much more in between. So just pay attention for that moment of opportunity that is fastly approaching here with XRP Healthcare. I am looking to add more once it does what it wants to do on this drop down. I'm staking for 20% right now. And there's still about 5 months left on that stake. So, and I have 55,000 tokens that I'm staking on the XRP Healthcare wallet. So that's what I'm looking at in the market. Oh, gold real quick before we get into that last bit of reading. It's up $7 right now to 2,292. I already have the technical drop point measured out. So if everybody's asking me, Tom, where are you looking to get back into the bullion markets? Well, my physical metals, you know, I haven't bought in a long time. Since not at all in 24, not at all. Because everything had gone up so much. So it's either gold makes a reversal here or finishes off the technical drop to 2,228. Daily could still use a bigger correction. Weekly could certainly use a bigger correction. 2 hourlies in the massively oversold. So we're going to have a correction day at some point. But we still definitely look like we want to come back down just a little bit. And then we'll watch this as the days go on. I'm watching B2 Gold as it consolidates. I know my next area of opportunity, if it holds 248, would be the area. So, and then if it breaks that, then your next area of opportunity is 230. I do this very transparently. Buy support, sell resistance. Buy support if it holds. Or if not, let it fall through. Right? I don't do this. Buy support, sell resistance, buy support, sell resistance. That's all I did on the last 2 trades. That's it. That's all I did. So, no reason to question it. Just watch the technicals, and that's how I trade. That's how I trade. And then I want to read this. Then 50 trillion going in after court case. I don't doubt that. So please make sure to hit that like button if you are on your way out right now. We did a great job, 107 likes, 109 people watching. If you do want to show personal support, you can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army, which is in the video description below. But I'm not going to talk about that stuff until the very end of streams from now on. I like doing it that way. I don't like talking about it, and then I'll just bring it up once. Marvin, welcome in, my friend. So Ripple CTO David Schwartz discloses details of XRP holdings and investment history. So David Schwartz, Ripple's Chief Technology Officer, CTO, has clarified his position on XRP in a recent tweet, putting an end to speculation over his cryptocurrency holdings. Schwartz made this clarification after an ex-user claimed he sold billions of XRP to acquire Ethereum and Bitcoin, adding that the proof was in his SEC statements. Schwartz revealed that at the peak of his holdings, he possessed approximately 26 million XRP, and that contrary to rumors, he has never sold XRP to buy other cryptocurrencies, except possibly selling small amounts of XRP for some unusual purposes. He further explained that while he did sell some Bitcoin holdings in the past, it was to acquire more XRP and Ethereum, not to diversify into other assets. Me at my peak holdings, I had about 26 million XRP. I sold Bitcoin to buy XRP and Ethereum. I don't think I ever sold XRP to buy any other crypto, except maybe small amounts for some unusual purposes, Schwartz responded. Because Poppy the Abuser said, ask him about the billions of XRP he sold to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. The proof is in his statement. This statement is significant as it demonstrates Schwartz's long-term confidence in XRP. Despite price volatility and the Ripple SEC legal battle, his decision to convert Bitcoin into XRP and Ethereum underscores his belief in the utility and potential of these cryptocurrencies. Particularly, Schwartz's disclosure regarding his XRP holdings puts an end to the ongoing speculation on XRP sales. At the time of writing, XRP was down 1.79% in the last 24 hours of 49.6 cents. And positive news, and this is something that I talked about in this morning's update, the SBC Group will become the first Japanese corporation to use XRP Ledger blockchain supply chain solutions as Ripple enters a strategic partnership with Tokyo-based consulting firm Hashkey DX. So that is definitely some good information. And then I guess I'd be unwise of me to leave without sharing this. XRP forms death cross. Details. XRP forms dreaded death cross, but historical glimmer of hope. But historical narrative still offers glimmer of hope. As the cryptocurrency market faces volatility, XRP witnessed a key technical event in the formation of its second death cross in the year of 2024. A death cross occurs when a short-term moving average, such as the 50-day moving average, crosses below a long-term moving average, like the 200-day moving average, and is typically regarded as a bearish indicator. For XRP, this is the second time such has manifested within the year following the first in late January. While death crosses often indicate a potential sell-off, the opposite seems to always be the case for XRP, as the formation of death cross indicating major interim bottoms. Following the first death cross of 2024, XRP experienced a bottoming phase, which was followed by a recovery that saw the price reach highs of 74.8 cents approximately 3 months later. This might be because the price might have already been oversold by the time of the death cross emerged. The historical narrative offers a glimmer of hope to investors who wonder if similar pattern play out after this second death cross. At the time of writing, the XRP price was down 2.49%, in the last 24 hours to 49.4 cents. As the broader crypto market faced selling pressure ahead of the Federal Reserve's meeting, which is scheduled tomorrow. So it's a 2-day meeting, and they're going to decide whether they cut rates, keep them the same, or raise rates. If they raise rates, the stock market's going to cut 4,000 to 6,000 points overnight. So just be prepared for that. If they, in fact, cut rates, I think they'd rather cut their arms off than raise rates. So I think we're still leaning more, if anything, to cut over raise. But, you know, they never seem to do anything in unity. So that's something we have to watch tomorrow. So thank you all so much for tuning in this live. I'm going to go in and help Julie. It's been a pleasure to bring this to everybody and to be around each and every one of my friends in here. Thank you all for the back and forth. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. I am not by the airport, but you definitely will hear planes. There's a small airport for private planes, for Cessna planes, I should say, not too far from my house. But I am closer to, let's see the best way to put this. I am closer, you'd probably know Royal Oak. I'm closer to Royal Oak. So, Oakland County, associated with Royal Oak, and I'm just outside of that area. So, thanks everybody. Have a great night. And if you made it until the end, hashtag be better, do better. I thought tonight was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful live together.